Hey everybody, it's Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews. I wanted to take some time today to explain to you why you constantly see me reading on a Kindle instead of a regular book. So I want to go over the top 10 reasons that I am a convert from regular books to ebooks. I still read some regular books every now and then, but I prefer Kindle books, and I didn't think this would ever happen. I, like everyone else, started reading regular books. I love the smell of them. I love just feeling them. I love everything about a regular book, but I had to switch to ebooks for a couple reasons. One is the cost was significant. I was paying way too much money for books, spending well over $1,000 a year on books, and that's just not something I wanted to spend $1,000 on. And I also was running out of space. I didn't want to keep getting bookcase after bookcase. My wife didn't really want me to have more bookcases in the house, and as you can see behind me, it's all filled up. So I decided to switch to ebooks, and I was very reluctant to do so. I got the new Paperwhite, the 2021 version, and I just love it. So here's my top 10 reasons, and these are not in order, except for the first one. The first one is definitely number one, and then everything beyond that is just kind of random. But the number one reason is that you get free books. And not a lot of people realize this, but your local library, especially if you live in the United States, will almost always have ebooks that you can send directly to your Kindle. I have not paid for a book for the 6 months that I've had a Kindle. I haven't paid for a single book. I get every single one of them free. My local library has an enormous amount of ebooks. I go onto the website, I pick what I want, it's instantly available to my Kindle. Sometimes there's a little bit of a wait list, and I just keep track of things. I've shown you my spreadsheet. If you haven't seen it, I'll pop it up here for you to watch that video, but I keep a list of when I'm going to read books so I know when to order them on time so that I get them when I need them. But, I mean, I'm going to end up saving many, many, many thousands of dollars over the life of my Kindle just to make this switch. And so if you didn't have any other reason, that's the reason you should do it. But I'll move on to my second reason, and that is that you can change the fonts. I love the concept that you can get pretty much any kind of font you want. You can load fonts into it. It comes with a bunch already that are really nice. But if you're not feeling one that they have, you have that option to change. That's not something that's true in regular books. You're stuck with what you got. And it's a big benefit that you might not realize that you probably have a preference, and you can make that your stock font for every single book that you read. So I really like that. It's not a major thing, but it's definitely a nice little flavor thing that really helps. My third reason is that you can change the word size. And I use this a lot. It's not like you're going to say, I want it always to be exactly the size, but based on what time of the day. I mean, when I'm first waking up in the morning and I'm reading and I'm still kind of tired, I make that font size bigger. I want my eyes to relax a little bit more. When I have a book further away from me, I prop up books a lot, and they're a little bit further away from me. I can make that word size quite a bit bigger, and it's normal. I can do that. I can't do that on a normal book. You can't prop a book up far away and be able to see it. Those words are too small. Or if I'm, reading like classic style, like right in front of my face, I can make that word size extremely small. But being able to do that on the fly is super convenient. So my fourth reason is the lighting that comes on it. The ability to adjust the light on your book is so nice. It opens up a lot of different platforms that you wouldn't naturally think of. Reading at night is now a breeze. You can make that brightness exactly what you want. Obviously, there are book lights that you can have. A lot of them are clunky. You have to recharge them. Obviously, you have to recharge a Kindle, but you already know to do that. And the charge is enormous. You can get through many books before you have to recharge. But the ability to read at any time of the night, any time in the morning, go outside in the middle of the dark, you can read your book no problem. It comes with warm lighting, like a yellow light that's really easy on your eyes, that takes out, it doesn't make your eyes tired. And you can adjust all of those levels. You can adjust the yellow, you can adjust the brightness, and it's nice to be able to have that customizable aspect to it. Or you can just totally take the light off at all. If you're reading in the middle of the day, reading outside, why do you need a light? But that adjusting is super nice. The fifth reason is how big it is and the comfortability of it. It's light. This thing is just super small and light. And it doesn't wear your arm down when you're holding it up. Like, I prefer, you see behind me, but there's a ton of hardback books. I love hardback books, but they are weighty, and you have to often prop them up on you if you want to read them for an extended period of time. Having that ability to have something light, small, slip it in your pocket. This thing is thin. Look how thin that is. You can slip these things into your pocket, no problem. So being able to walk with a book in your pocket makes it so, I bring my Kindle everywhere, even if I don't think I'm going to read it. Because you never know when you're going to be like stuck in a line or waiting on somebody at the store or any number of things where you just, boom, got my Kindle on hand. I can read it anytime I want. Gets a lot more reading done. My number 6 reason is that it contains so many books at the same time. You can load this thing up with thousands of books. Like I said, I rent my books from the library, so I have to give them back, so I don't load up thousands. But I often have like 3 or 4 books at a time on this thing, which is great because I will often finish a book when I'm not at my home. So it's really nice being able to be running errands, be stuck in a line. I finished a book, boom, I got the next one right on there. That's not something that you could do previously. I bring my books to work. I like to read during my lunch hour. And bringing like 2 full-size books in my bag was cumbersome. Wouldn't often fit. I have a laptop, I have a bunch of other stuff. So that idea that you can just load up so many books and it's just a streamless change between them is really, really cool thing. So my number 7 reason, I think that's 7, yeah? Yeah, 7. The highlighting feature, multiple aspects of it, but obviously, you can write in books. I write in my books pretty often, my hard books. I write all over them. But the idea that you can just seamlessly put your finger on it, swipe over to the side, highlight anything you want, is awesome. You can write little notes about what you highlighted. And the nice thing about it is that you can then go at the top of the screen and search through your highlights. So you can just quickly go through and see everything that you saved. One big reading thing I do, especially on big, dense, like epic fantasy books, is I make a ton of highlights. And then afterwards, I might want to go through those highlights and discuss them and discuss questions I had that never got resolved for me online. I might go to like Reddit and go somewhere that is that community and bring up everything. And so now it's really easy. I can just go to my highlights, go through all of them, see everything I need to remember. It's way faster and cleaner. And I super love that ability. The next one, number 8, is kind of similar to that, and that's this idea that you can look up words in multiple fashions. You can hold on a word and look up the definition of that word instantly. It's so nice. This is one of my favorite things about having a Kindle. I'm a big reader. I know a lot of words, but I read a lot of books where I am just clueless about a large number of words that are said, or I think I might know it, but I want to clarify exactly what it means in this context. You can load up a bunch of different dictionaries. Like if I'm reading a book that's clearly written by an author that's in England, I can load up their dictionary because they might have more specific words specific to their dictionary that might be a little bit different than mine. It also has the ability to go to a Wikipedia and pop up an article about that term. It's something that I use dozens of times while I'm reading a book. Previously, I would have to go on my phone, look it up, and I might just not do it. I might just skip over it, and I might lose a little bit something out of it, lose the meaning of a sentence by not wanting to go through the trouble of looking that up. I will actually go back real quick. I forgot to mention on the highlights section, there's this little feature you can hit that says popular highlights. And if a highlight has been highlighted by a large number of people, it'll automatically highlight that, like put a little underlining on that quote in your book already and have a little number by it. So as you're reading, you'll see this little underlined thing and it'll say like 270 people. And you're like, there's 270 people that have specifically highlighted this section. And you put a little more attention into reading that. Oftentimes it's some meaningful quote that might really be something that's like kind of punches something home, or it might be highlighting something that's, a really big, like bang moment that is like really impactful. And it's fun to be able to see that, what other people found to be important. And oftentimes it's, I thought it was kind of hokey when I first saw it. My dad has a Kindle and he had it on, and I was kind of making fun of him for having it. I was like, why do you need to know what other people think? But I started messing with it, and he was totally right. It's an awesome feature, and I think everybody should enable it because it's not enabled by default. So moving to number 9, being able to search for terms. I love this feature. Being able to just go to the search bar and typing in anything you want, it'll pull up all the times that's been done. There's a lot of times where I'll want to find something in a book and I'll know some of the words that were said, but I'll never be able to find it. I'd have to spend many minutes going back and flipping through all the pages to find it in a regular book. Here, you just type in that term, it pops right up. It's really nice, too, if a book has a cast of characters at the beginning of a book, which a lot of fantasy books do. You can just hit search, write in the name of that person. The first thing that pops up is going to be who that character is, what they're all about. It's really, really handy. I use it all the time, and just love the ability to search around for things, and keep your mind fresh about what's going on. Keeps you more engaged in the book. And the last, number 10 of my favorite things about having a Kindle is the accessories that you can use on the Kindle. You can buy little stands that prop up the Kindle so you can watch it away from you and kind of relax back and not have to mess around with holding the book up. I've got these things that are like a clip you put onto your Kindle, and so you put this clip on, and I've got a controller, so I'll prop the book up somewhere away from me, and I can just hit if it's cold, I'm outside, put my hands in my pockets, I can hit this clicker, it's going to move the pages forward for me. It sounds really lazy, it sounds crazy lazy, but once you start using it, you never go back. It's so nice to be able to be sitting in bed, have your hands under the covers, have your book propped up on your legs, and just clicking away, not having to move your hand up every now and then. I love the ability to have these little accessories. I also have upstairs in my nice reading chair is I've got a clamp that hooks on the wall, and it puts this arm out so I can just hook up the Kindle in front of it. So I can lean back in my chair and have it just sitting in front of me. I don't have to hold it. I can use this little clicker to click around. It makes it so convenient and nice. And all these things are super cheap. These are $20 or less for all these items. So those are all the reasons that I love my Kindle. I will never go back. I do enjoy getting, I have some authors that send me books, so it's nice to go back. I didn't pay for it, so it's nice to say the free thing is taken care of. Let me go read a real book for a little bit, and it's fun to be able to do that. But, for all these reasons, I highly suggest people get a Kindle. If you read as much as me, you will save for that thousands of dollars. If you read a lot less than me, you will save hundreds. That $150-ish bucks that you're going to spend on this thing, you're going to save that money back after you rent 15 books. So if you're on the fence, take the plunge. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching.